I always want to lift up and champion and encourage the people who are stepping up and fighting back against what's going on. And one of those moms is fighting back against what's going on in New Jersey. Marlaina Schiavo is stepping up, and I want to, full disclosure here, Marlaina is the wife of one of our executives here at The First, but I love that because we're true believers here. Everyone here at The First, we're fighting this together. Marlaina, how are you today?
I'm fine, Mike. How are you?
Really good. And Marlaina, mom of two, I should add as well. All right, what's your anti-mask thesis? Why do you care about this? Why does it matter?
Okay, so I don't believe that the masks are necessary this year whatsoever. You know, last year we were in a pandemic. We were told that if we wanted our kids in school, that they had to be masked, and we dealt with it for an entire year. And we were told that we had to be grateful that our kids were in school during an actual school year. But that's fine. Then the mask mandate in New Jersey was lifted at the beginning of June. Summer programs at the school started completely maskless. Okay. And that meant all the students, all the staff, including the principal/superintendent. And then come August 6th, with no change in the cases in New Jersey, no surge in deaths, nothing happening. Governor Murphy puts a mask mandate again for just for schools. And there's no wiggle room whatsoever. So last night we had a board meeting here, and I asked the board to challenge the state on this because we have neighboring districts that are challenging Governor Murphy's mandate, trying to find every which way to figure out even a happy medium. He doesn't have to necessarily lift the mandate right now, but in the interim, we need exemptions. We need us, the people who don't want to mask our kids, to be represented and to not have our freedoms completely ripped away from us, and the rights of our children to go to school without having to cover their entire face. They don't really get the breaks in the masks that they are promised. Last year we were promised, mask breaks, and they're going to sit outside during nice weather and do all these things. They didn't do most of that. And last night at the meeting, I heard a lot of that talk once again before they opened up the floor to the parents. And I'm just not believing it. And there's a lot of conversation around the idea that our kids are adapting to this and it's not that big of a deal. Well, who's it not a big deal to? Because it's a big deal to me. I personally think that you can throw any study you want in my face. Any psychologist from any university that says this isn't affecting people negatively. But I'm a mom, okay? And I'm the one who knows my child best. And if I think that my child is being adversely affected by wearing a mask unnecessarily in their classes all day long, then my voice should be heard over some study that, is being put out by any publication, namely the New York Times, saying that it's not going to affect them socially. It's not going to affect them developmentally. How do they know that? This hasn't been going on for long enough for them to even know that kind of data whatsoever. So my issue is this. I don't understand how Governor Murphy could even place an executive order. We are not in an emergency state right now at all. Because if we were, we'd have lockdowns. I couldn't go to the gym. We couldn't go to restaurants. My kids can go anywhere right now with me, and I don't mask them. And except for school. So what is the narrative here? That the virus only exists in the school? That doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't understand it whatsoever.
No, there's no rational thought to it whatsoever. I'm sure you've talked with other parents, right? And for me, the thing that annoys me the most, like there's the true believers, like the mask, like crazy people, right? And they mask everywhere and always will and whatever, okay? It's like, all right, fine. I'm more frustrated by the parents who are like, I don't like them, but whatever, no big deal. It's like, no, big deal. It's a big deal. Like, wake up, we need you to stand up. Have you talked to moms and dads like that?
I have. A lot of people you'll hear will say things like, I don't love the masks, but I'm just glad my kid's in school. Yeah, you're the reason they're in masks because the government knows that people want their kids in school because what's the alternative? To homeschool your child? No one wants to do that. If you wanted to homeschool your child, you would have already done it before COVID hit. So they know that they have you in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, okay, well, if you want your kids in school, you have to wear these masks. And I do not want politics in the classroom. If we were really in a state of emergency, our kids wouldn't be in school. It would be March 2020 all over again. They'd be home. We'd be in a lockdown. Okay. They found a way to send them back last year with masks. This year, I don't understand it. Actually, I do understand it. I do understand it. I have reasons in my own mind of why this is happening, but no one wants to hear it. So
I do. What's the, is it just the political nature of it?
Well, it's partially political in the state of New Jersey. I mean, this is a blue state right now, right? So he's falling in line with the other Democratic states. Fine. Also, he right now in the entire country, kids under the age of 12 cannot get vaccinated, right? So if you keep the masks off the kids and they can go back to school, all kids, what will be the incentive when they approve the vaccine for kids under 12?
You're totally right. Marlaina, I have not thought of that. That's absolutely it. You're 100% right. Because the head of the CDC the other day said we can begin to talk about, not we can definitely, but we can begin to talk about taking masks off kids when every child is vaccinated. So that's the play. That's the play here.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.